we need to make some broth because we need to make some chili. Now this is gonna be another quick video because broth is really easy to make, but we're gonna get into the how we make it and the reasons why we save certain parts of certain animals. Broth is very simple to make. I got about 7 pounds of assorted chicken parts in there. Those are carcasses from when I made fried chicken. You got some necks, some livers, some like wing tips and stuff. And I got some onions and some carrots. We're gonna throw some garlic in there too. And you just get a large pot of water. Now, making broth isn't really an exact science. I can't tell you like, hey, take 7 pounds of chicken, this much onion, this much carrot with exactly this much water. When you start cooking down, you're just going to taste it as it goes to see when you get that like right amount of chickeny flavor, right? That condensed broth flavor. And if it's not there yet, you'll boil it down some more until it gets there. All this stuff just goes into the pot. So we're going to bring this up to a boil, turn it down to a simmer, let it go for 8 hours up to 24 or even longer, really until it's done. Now as it starts to simmer, you'll start seeing these little bits of scum, dirt, whatever you want to call it, come up. You just get a strainer, strain that stuff out. Or a colander, whatever you call this thing. I don't remember what you call this thing right now. But just take all that out. It's not going to hurt anything anyway. When you're putting garlic in a broth, you can literally just like cut it right in half. Like right down the middle like this. You end up with that and you can just throw the whole thing in. You're going to strain everything out anyway, so you know you don't have to bother taking each individual garlic out. Just chop it in half, throw it in. So I hate to sound like a smart ass, right? But you'll know your broth is done when it tastes like broth. All right, so I've dipped my spoon in here, tasted it. It tastes like unseasoned chicken soup, which is what you want. Now the question is, do you want to salt your broth or season your broth or not? I would advise not seasoning your broth, right, once it's done. If you don't season it, you can use it in a lot more things. Example, let's say making ramen with it. If you season your broth and hey, you know, it tastes great, right? But you can't use that to cook ramen now because ramen's already too salty as it is. And now you've used salted broth in there, and even the saltiest salt lover is not going to be able to eat that ramen. So my advice is leave your broth unseasoned. So we're going to get this drained and ready for jars and ready to make chili. Now, I'm the king of don't waste food, right? But there's really nothing to do with this stuff. You can't give it to your dogs. It's full of onions and garlic. It doesn't taste like anything. Just throw it away. Be sure to let this stuff cool down before you transfer it to any type of glass or plastic jar or whatever. I learned that the hard way a few years ago when I blew up a glass jar on my counter and burned my feet. Yeah, not fun. So yeah, broth. That was fun. Easy to make. And it's a lot better than the store-bought stuff. I'm going straight into making chili from this, so we'll have that video shortly. Like and subscribe.